to the tools. If it's FS talk, you know they breaking all the rules. We talk giants, we talk gears, we talk that horsepower. Late night mod drops, we got that creative power. From interviews with legends to spotlight in the new, we bring that FS fire straight from the crew to two. Living life behind the wheel with a digital twist. Ain't no button we don't press, no trend we ever miss. Updates, leaks, and future plans. We got the inside scoop, no chance for scams. This is AgriBusiness, cranking up your farm life. From the field to the feedlot, under LEDs and skylights. Mods, maps, machines, they cover it all. Porches, kings of the farming game, standing tall. It's more than a game, it's a way of thinking. Talking shop while that diesel's drinking. From tractors to combines, dirt roads to drones, they build empires from screens and microphones. With every guest that drops in for a chat, you get the real talk, no filters, just facts. A spotlight on the builders and players who grind. They got love for the fans and the farm in mind. This is AgriBusiness, cranking up your farm life. From the field to the feedlot, under LEDs and skylights. Mods, maps, machines, they cover it all. Porches, kings of the farming game, standing tall. So plug in the pod and hit that sub. Roll out in style with your farming club. No fluff, just dirt, diesel, and truth. Straight from the FS underground on coast. AgriBusiness, rocking every ride with BDD, LT side by side. Whether you plow, seed, harvest, or buy, this is the voice of the farm life.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is AgriBusiness Tonight, a show where we get to talk about maps, news, and mods. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. I am joined here, of course, by my co-host, WillTGaming. Will, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. I tell you what, man, you and I, we talked last week about us expecting a whole lot of stuff this week, and we kind of came up a little short on that one.
Yep.
One of those where it was a bummer, but that's all right. Hopefully that means that this week we might get some a thing or two. I don't know. What do you think?
Open.
Let's see. Real quick, we got Jonah. How's it going, Jonah? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. 1.3, 1.3, no! And then we got Sean Swafield. Sean, how are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. It says, oh, well. Well, I tell you what, hopefully we don't have any 1.3s out there. We'll see, though. We'll see. I don't know, Will, you want to get into the mods right away, or do we want to cover anything prior to getting into it?
There's one thing I do want to state, and that is for anyone who's looking for me on YouTube, I am not on YouTube today. I am on Twitch, which you can find me as Satnary24. I am only on Twitch right now because my PC is broken. So
that is a bummer. We were talking right before the show, and it was one of those where he said, I'm not going to be able to play the opening song.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Oh, man, I would be disappointed, too. That's the highlight of my Sunday, is getting to listen to AgriBusiness intro song.
Right? So, yeah, but we can definitely start on the mods.
Awesome. Well, let's get this show rocking and rolling because, yeah, like I said, we don't have a ton of mods to go over, but we got a little bit to discuss here. Starting off with the Fendt 600 Vario Gen 1. This is a medium tractor by Paul Period. 46 megabytes to download, a starting price of $171,000, and a power range of 149 to 209 horses. Whoo boy. So taking a look at what we have here on the actual base game, we have, let's see, medium tractors, and I don't know, we're talking 149 starting horses. It's actually probably going to be closest to the Massey Ferguson 7S is going to be our kind of closest comparable there. 149,500 to start on that one, and a power range of 155 to 210. So already right off the bat, this Fendt 600 Vario Gen 1 is already quite a bit more expensive by almost about $21,000, a little bit higher than that. And then you look at the power, it's not as much when you compare that it has 149 horses as compared to the starting out Massey's 155. So you're talking 6 horses less. All in all, it also requires 46 megabytes to install, 46 flat. This one's going to be a pass for me. Will, what do you say?
Well, it would be a pass for me. Like I said, I I did install it. Plus I installed actually all of his Fendt mods. Because when the new DLC, not the new DLC, when the expansion comes out for the European map, um, I'm gonna do something a little different because I usually run John Deere, Kloss, and Case, but I'm gonna run Fendt, and so I'm gonna be using his mods to do so. So
All right, everybody, you heard it here first. Heck has officially frozen over. I don't know what's going on here. Who are you and what have you done with Will?
it's still not New Holland.
This is true. You know what? I retract previous statement. If you were going on about New Holland saying this, then I'd be scared. I would legitimately be worried at that point.
Right.
All right. Well, moving on, we have the Case Puma 185260. This is a medium tractor for 19.48 megabytes to install. We have a starting price of $189,500 base price, and a base power of 224 horses. So yet again, looking at our introductory medium tractors, we have probably going to be the closest one would be 224 is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of, hey, look at that, another Case Puma. We got the Case Puma AFS Connect, 239,500 to start out for the price, and 224 horses. So you got an exact match on the horsepower, but what you don't have an exact match on the price. So the mod here at 189.5 is considerably cheaper, about, what is that, 40 grand cheaper than the base game one. Now, I don't know necessarily the difference between the Puma AFS Connect versus the modded version here, but I mean, all in all, for 20 megabytes, I mean, that might be worth saving, $40,000 chunk on your map there. So I don't know, I'm not seeing anything that really kind of would turn me off, like size of the file or anything like that, because again, my normal cutoff when it comes to mods is somewhere in the kind of 25 range, unless it's like really special. But 40 grand to save right off the rip for a case, I could be talked into this one. What do you think there, Will?
Well, I definitely like that a whole lot better than the base game case. I mean, you have a lot more custom, which is nice. I mean, it's one I snagged. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I just wish that it had the U.S. stocks on it instead of the European sign. But
That is a good point. That is definitely a good point. Yeah, because you know, it does the base one. No, really, the base one just gives you the European style stalks as well. So,
Mm,
you know, we're talking about the red and white little hazard marks on the outside of the cabin there. So those are
yeah.
like the European style. So yeah, no, it would be nice to have the European, even the European or the American triangle, would be nice. But meh, it is what it is. Not the end of the world.
Right.
All right, next one we have is the Lizard 4100. This is a small tractor by Vinco Mods and is 8 point. Oh, you know what? I don't think I said who made the other tractor. It's by Waffle. Love the name Waffle.
Love
Anyways,
it.
what's that?
I said love it.
We got the Lizard 4100 by Vinco Mods. This is 8.38 megabytes to install and has a starting price of $4,500. It's going to break the bank, so you also be careful. Be careful now. It also has a engine horsepower of 45. Whoo, hear that baby go grrr. Oh my goodness. So, checking out what we got here in base game, that's obviously going to be small tractors. And I don't think we got a real good comparison to this one, besides maybe like the Landini is probably going to be the closest one, but even that's going to be a rough kind of comparison. So, Landini here, the Landini Rex 4 GT, starting horsepower of 70 and a base price of 39,500. Now, again, base price for the Lizard 4100 is $4,500, so it's significantly cheaper, but you are cutting out about 30, 35 horses. 25 horses. So yeah, it's one of those you save quite a bit of money, well over what is that, $3,500, or no, $35,000. Sorry, math is mathing. And yeah, you're gonna save quite a bit. And the file size isn't bad, 9 megabytes for this. I'd say if you're looking for an itty bitty, tractor to do is who is it you say the small farms?
Farm shenanigans.
Small farm shenanigans. That's right. So yeah, if you're
That's
looking
by Indie Farms.
Andy Farms, if you're looking to do anything like that, this might be up your alley. Me personally, it's very rare that I find myself in a need for something this small. So this is going to be a pass for me, but I can hear the argument because there's nothing that I would say is disqualifying on this mod. What do you think there, Will?
Maybe a pass for me. The only thing I can really see that really being for is like running like a little lawnmower kind of deal.
Exactly. It's one of those where it's going to have hyper specific use cases. You're not going to be able to use it for much of anything around the farm. I mean, you just look at kind of the basics of your farm life, like just a simple plow. Like the smallest plow we have in base game requires 85 horsepower. You can't even plow your fields with this tractor.
Yeah.
So again, very specific, hyper focused use cases, and you can see in one of the screenshots here, it's using the servo, which is the smallest one in game. I don't know how or if it's even able to pull this. It's one of those I kind of refuse to believe it is because again, it's about half the required horsepower for the plow in order to get this thing to go. So I think it might be just for the screenshot, and that's about it.
Or unless it's pulling a bit at like 2 miles an hour.
If that. If that. Next one we have here is the 2019 Deutz Series 9. This is by Rednex Mods and is 46.15 megabytes to download. We have a starting price of $200,000 and a starting horsepower of 295 horses. But it can get up to 3,100 horsepower with a completely ridiculous top speed. This thing, whoo, is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now, I'm not even going to touch the unrealistic version of this. I'm just going to go kind of from starting. So if we take a look at our large tractors, because that's what this is categorized under, we're looking at a power band of 295. So probably closest thing we got is going to be the Fendt 900 Vario. Now that starts at $327,500 and a power start of 296. So right off the bat, you're losing 1 horsepower compared to the Fendt, but the starting price of $200,000 for the Deutz here is about $127,000 cheaper for the starting power band than the Fendt. So yeah, I'm going to be willing to lose 1 horsepower for a savings of $127,500. That right there is absolutely nuts, the amount of money that you're saving for this. Now, again, I tend to shy away from these high megabyte, files. 46.15 megabytes to install. That's a lot. That is a lot. But at the end of the day, to save 127,000 for that kind of power band, I might be willing to kind of go in on that. Now, what I will also say is this thing can be customized something fierce. You can see it's got the bowl kind of strapped to the front of the screenshots there. It's got all sorts of different customizations, different paint styles. Let's see some of the other things that is rims and tractor colors, rear windows open, the beacon lights, which y'all know I don't care about the windows. I don't care about, the doors, things like that. That's just adding file size to me. So I don't know. This one breaks the mold of one that I would be willing to install just because, again, big cost savings. What do you think?
For starters, well, as everyone knows, I'm a huge fan of John Deere. Gloss. Case third. Um, but the Deutz Series 9 is my favorite Deutz series. So I was actually I was very excited when that came out. I installed it, and yes, knowing me, I'm gonna go as realistic as possible. I'm not gonna put it as 3,000 horsepower, Um, and I'm not gonna put the bull thing on the front, like the horns. Um, the the eyes, you can actually choose what color you want on the skull. So it's kind of like kind of deal. But I installed it. I liked it. So you can also make it like quad track, well, almost kind of like the John Deere 8RX. You have 4 tracks going all the way around. So
Now, what's cool is that if you look at the fourth screenshot here, it's got the LSW tires that are installed, and they're the nice bulgy round tires. Like that looks like a really slick setup. Like it's got the wide stance. It's in the Warrior design. Like I, I will say this. I think there is no better looking tractor than the Warrior brand of the Deutz Fahr. I think that black on black is so sharp. It's one of those that if I could get that look in a different manufacturer, oh, sign me up. Sign me up. Love it. Love it. Moving on, we've got the Kloss Zerion attachments. This is by Kenny456, 48.69 megabytes to install. And we've got a couple of different attachments here. We got the wood chipper for $45,000. And we've got the dump body for the saddle track at $25,000. It has a 30,000 liter capacity. And this has also the wood structure, aka the wood bunks, for a minimum price of $30,000, but also can go up to $35,000. So there's really no good comparable to this because this is kind of a unique attachment set to the Kloss Zerion. And specifically, if I remember right, it's one of the kind of modded Klosses. I don't think we have this in base game, do we?
So those attachments actually comes along with it too. Is that it actually requires the saddle track pack from Giant Software. And it also requires the class Xerion 5000 4500 for Giant Software.
Ah, yeah. See, it doesn't show that is required, but that makes sense that those
Yeah.
would be kind of part of it, you know, as it at its base. So,
Oh shoot,
oh, what'd you do? Did you forget to unmute me?
no, um, no, no. Like I completely forgot that I wrote down the slot counts for these.
Oops. But like I said, there's really no good way to show a comparable for this, so I'm not really going to go deep into the comparisons. But what I will say about this is that if you like the saddle track, then this is going to be the kind of natural accompaniment to the saddle track. You're going to be able to get more jobs done with the saddle track. You're going to be able to get more stuff done. And we did get this as kind of separate mods in FS22, that wood chipper attachment and the kind of like dump trailer. We had that as like its own individual thing, like it was its own setup, you know, back in 22. But now it comes as actual attachables, which I kind of like that. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of the saddle track personally. I'm not going to go out and download it just, you know, to have it kind of thing. But I like the fact that you can still have the saddle track and then have these as just separate components, and that they will merge together with your saddle track. I think that's pretty cool. What do you think there, Will?
Well, there's one thing that's very unique about that, and I did not. Um, but the like the bend part on the back, right? Which which I have put down as uh the chipper, like the chipper box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's multi-fruit, so you can literally like you can chaff corn and throw it into there. It's just like it's like a hauler, so you like a chaser bin kind of on the back of a tractor, which I think is kind of neat.
Okay.
So I didn't keep it installed only because like there are specific mods I use. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it looks fantastic, but I I didn't keep the Kloss saddle track installed because of how big it was. Because we got a gooseneck slurry spreader for the class Xerion, which I think is better. So that's why I kept that instead of the saddle track pack. Um, but now since we have GEA and Velmetal back in the game, it's like, what do I choose? So it's like, so um, if you like logging, definitely get it. So it would definitely definitely be worth time for that. Trust me on that. I think it's very unique, awesome. Um, Now real quick, because we're talking about this. So so you have your two wood beds, and then you have your two like trailer tippers. um, all of them are 5 slots apiece, and then your wood chipper for the front is 6. So I mean, the slot count's not awful on them either. So
So the one thing that I would argue in regards to this mod is I personally would skip this because we've got things such as the Tree Devourer, which is essentially the same thing as this, but it's the Tree Devourer is this tool with less steps, if that makes sense. It's one of those where you don't have to worry about dealing with cranes, you don't have to deal with the actual wood chipping mechanism, the bucket, the attachments, all that stuff, and having the really kind of overpoweringly high uh, download sizes. Like this pack by itself is 49 megabytes to install. That doesn't include the Xerion itself, so the saddle track. So it's one of those like taking both of those into account. More than likely, you're talking well over 100 megs between the two of them. Now I don't have the size of the saddle track on hand, but I'm just guessing, especially because
Like
it's a giant.
hundreds of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be up there just because it's a Giants mod and the whole 9 yards. So this one is definitely gonna be a pass for me.
Um, then real quick before we move on, the Fendt tractors 24 slots. The Case Puma 17. The Lizard 4100 is 5 slots. And
Big
then
spenders.
the Do It's Far Series 9 is 25 slots. So
Nice, nice. All right, the next one we have is the Ponzi Forwarder trailer. This is by HR Frost and Verzogbau and is 33.01 megabytes to install. We've got a couple of trailers here. We got the Ponzi Clam Bunk trailer for $25,000, and we have the Ponzi Bunk trailer for $35,000. So, looking at it, we have the Clam Bunk, which is the in this image, the one on the right, I do believe, with the kind of claw in the back that's going to go ahead and just latch on to the trees that you throw into the back there. And then you got the normal kind of bunk trailer that we'd be used to seeing from base game. Now, taking a look at the mods that we have in base game, I think it's down here. There we go. Is it wood trans? Yeah, there we go. Base game, we have the Kesla 144ND for $15,000. So again, taking a look here at the mods, the Clam Bunk's $25,000. The Ponzi Bunk is $35,000. So right off the bat, you're saving either 10 grand or 20 grand just using the base game. And you're not having to install 33 megabytes worth of file to spend more money to do pretty much the same job. Now, as
right.
Will and I always say, if these brands or this mod, whatever, if it speaks to you, if you like it, then take what we're saying with a grain of salt. We're just kind of giving you the facts as it exists within the base game or within our personal opinions. But if your personal opinion is that, hey, BDD, Will, I love this mod, then love it all you want. Don't let us change your mind.
Exactly. And as everyone knows, I hate doing forestry work. So you know for a fact that HR Forest and Verzogbau, they do a fantastic job at everything that they do. Their mods are great, very highly detailed, a lot of options, stuff like that. But it's just something I'm gonna pass on because I just don't do enough forestry work. I mean, for because you know how like HR Forest, like slot counts are usually really high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both these trailers are 15 slots, which is not awful.
No, it's really not. Especially when you consider that all the moving components that these trailers have, especially the clam bunk, you've got the
Yeah.
main grappler arm, for the crane, and then you got the grappler for the actual clam itself. So the fact that they're both
Yeah.
15 slots is actually rather surprising to me.
Right.
But at the end of the day, these are a pass for me. I'd rather use the 33 megabytes for something else. See, moving
Agreed.
on, we've got the FTG FB15D. Whew, that's a lot of letters. This is by Rimvis and is 23.83 megabytes to download. We have a starting price of $11,000, and this is, again, basically the same thing that we were working with at kind of a smaller scale. Looks like this is one made for the attachment onto small vehicles. They have a couple of images of it being attached to the back of the Skoda, that little sedan pickup, or the little sedan from base game. So again, taking a look, $11,000 is our base price. Looking back at our comparable, $15,000 is our comparable. So right there off the bat, you're going to save about 4 grand, but you're also getting an infinitely smaller implement. You can see in the last screenshot there, your player standing right next to it, and it kind of to scale with the Skoda. So $11,000 sounds like, yay, you're going to save a little bit of money. But when you look at spending an extra 4 grand, you're going to get an infinitely bigger implement here in base game with the Kesla or the ooh, how do you pronounce that? The fin that, however you pronounce that, is yeah, again, an extra 3 grand on top of the Kesla. So these are much bigger implements and made to be pulled around by your tractors rather than just a small little car. But if you're looking to kind of start out small, have something that you can just kind of sling around your small farm for, you go ahead and say it there, Will.
Your small farm shenanigans.
Thank you, Andy Farms. Yes,
Yeah.
this is maybe something for you, but is going to be a pass for me. 24 megabytes I can spend somewhere else and just use the base game equipment.
Um, I agree. Once again, I'm not into forestry work, so that's gonna be a pass for me. I mean, from what I looked at, they looked absolutely phenomenal. Highly detailed, not too bad looking. It's definitely, if you want to start with something small, go for it. Like if you're start from scratch and you have a car or a pickup, go for it. You know, it's definitely something there, and it's not bad either. It's only 13 slots, so
It's not bad. All right, next one we have is the Fimax FMV16F. This is by KRKZ Modding and Femix AS. 15.65 megabytes to install, starting price of $30,000, and a capacity of 16,000 liters. This is a nice little forage mixer. And again, if we take a look at our bases, let's take a look. Where is the animal section for the mixing? Mix everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Oh, come on now. I know I'm just breezing right past it every single time. Oh, it's because I'm not even looking at the right section. Hi. So again, looking at the 16,000 liter capacity, we're going to try and find the closest one, and really it's going to be the K-brand RA142. $38,500 to start out with, and a horsepower requirement of 90. This doesn't show a horsepower requirement here for the mod, but taking a look, we have the K-brand at 11,900 liters compared to the 16,000. Now, again, the starting price for the mod is 30,000 compared to the K-brand's 38,500. So you're going to be saving about $8,500, and you're going to be increasing your capacity by nearly, what is that, 5,000-ish liters? No, 4,000-ish liters. So right off the bat, you're spending less, getting more, and it's only, what is that, 16 megabytes? That's not bad. That's not bad. I think this would definitely be worth installing. Will, what do you think?
well, the guy who loves doing animal work, I think it's animal. Um, I mean, if I've never heard of the brand before, it's definitely something I would definitely try. And if you're definitely on a smaller to medium sized farm, like dairy farm, by all means get this. I think it would work absolutely phenomenal. And you want the best part is
What's that?
it's only 6 slots,
Ooh, nice.
so
Very, very nice. All right, the next one we have is, oh, we can click into it, the Gentil TP1824. This is by Universe Simu Modding, 9.95 megabytes to install, $44,200 to buy, and a capacity of $9,500. So right away, I look for, with my trailers, the $1,000 per 1,000 liter test. Unfortunately, this completely blows that out of the water. You can see this is nearly a 3x, no, nearly 4x to that rule. So 95,000 or 9,500 liters and a $4,400 price tag. That's a big pill to swallow. So you're actually looking at about $4,000 per 1,000 liters. So I think that one by itself is going to be a kind of a disqualification right off the bat. That's a huge expense for this style of trailer. Now I do like it that it's the kind of low profile trailer. So hopefully using it for like stone picking and stuff like that would be kind of a good alternative. 10 megabytes to install is not that intrusive, so that's nice. But all in all, that $4,000 per 1,000 liters, that's a lot of money for a trailer. So it's going to be a pass for me.
No, I agree, and it is from USM, which is Universe Simu Modding. Um, highly detailed. They make fantastic mods. I mean, if you like the brand Gentil, or if you really like um, uh, the University Simu Modding, if you like their mods, feel free to get it. Absolutely fantastic. Um, and it's only 5 slots.
Nice. All
So
right. Next one we have is the Lizard 6T. This is by Matthias Hupalo, 5.87 megabytes to download. And we have the price of the standard wagon at $4,300, and the one with the auger is $5,500. Capacity of 10,000 liters and has a minimum power required, I presume, with just the auger of 75 horsepower. So right away, we take a look at this, and not only do we have the $1,000 per 1,000 liters met, is actually exceeded. This is actually more like $500 per 1,000 liters. That's really nice. So you're spending pennies for this trailer. 10,000 liters is pretty decent for that price as well. So taking a look at our
yeah,
bases, again, looking at trailers, a 10,000 liter capacity. Really, the closest thing we're going to have is the FarmTech EDK 650. As you can see here, $6,000 to start. So again, $4,300 for the base price for the mod here for just a standard trailer and 10,000 liter capacity. So you're already spending, what is that, $1,700 less and getting a 6,000 liter bump with just this trailer, just at the minimum. Even at the maximum, this thing can get up to 8,000 liters, the FarmTech can. But again, you're paying a little bit extra to get that extra capacity for the extension. But then you look at the auger, $5,500. You're still cheaper with an auger, and you still have more capacity. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. 6 megabytes to install. Install this one all day, all night. This is a very good starting out trailer. If you're looking to, again, start small and work your way up, this is going to be a great starting one.
no, I definitely agree with that 100%. I mean, it looks good. Um, I mean, yeah, it's exactly like what you said. If it's if you're starting out small and working your way up, this is definitely a good one to start with. I'm not gonna lie on that. And both the trailer and the auger wagon are only so not too heavy on the slot count.
How much was it? You broke up there.
4 slots and 4 slots.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I mean, so small price, large capacity, a small file size, and small slot count. Sign me up all day and night for this one. All day and night.
Right.
And again, low profile, so you're going to be able to use your stone pickers and be able to take this out into the field, empty out your stone picker, and then take it back, and you'll be good to go. I mean, it's nuts. And you also think about it this way. Normally, when we do contracts for stone picking, they normally give us the Crampy half pipe HP 20. This
Yeah.
trailer right here, that's $36,000. So let's say you wanted to kind of have a low profile trailer that, you know, allows you to be able to utilize it for pretty much everything around your farm. This is pretty close to being the right one because you're able to use it for stone picking. It's got a decent capacity and all that. $36,000 compared to without the auger, $4,300. You're saving $32,000 minimum, and you're only losing 2,100 liter capacity. That means that you could literally buy this mod. What is that? About 6 times over, and still spend less than the Crampy in base game. I mean, you can't go wrong. Can't. All right, next one we have is the MBP 6.5 trailer. This is by Tomek and is 34.65 megabytes to install. We have a capacity minimum of 5,400 and goes up to 9,800 and a price of $7,000. So right away, it does fail the $1,000 per 1,000 liters because $7,000, 5,400 liter capacity. it's going to be over that 1,000 liters. Now, where this really kind of comes in for me is 35 megabytes. 35 megabytes. Now, I will say that you can see right here. It can be converted to what looks to be like a liquids tanker, if I'm not mistaken. You can see a couple other, like just the normal trailers for grains and stuff like that. We've got another image of it. Looks like almost like a slurry tanker is what this image looks like. It's image number 5. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those where at the end of the day, I think I'm personally going to skip on this because 35 megabytes for a trailer where it's already over the $1,000 per 1,000 liters capacity, and it's only 5,400 liters as a starting price. It only gets up to 9,800. I'd defer back to the previous trailer and just go with that one personally. So this is going to be a pass for me. What do you think there, Will?
Oh, it is gonna be a pass for me, only because the downloadable size for it. Um, and and funny enough, it can actually not be converted into that. Um, because they're all separate trailers. So you basically have the first trailer, then you have a silage trailer, which the silage trailer you cannot fill from a multi-fill.
Mm,
Um, and then you have and then you do have yeah. Um, and then you do have a liquid fertilizer and herbicide tank. You do have a water tank and a gas tank. There's no slurry tank. Um,
okay.
and then I mean, overall, I mean, they look good. Don't get me wrong. Um, they're definitely for your smaller farms. Um, and definitely if you're starting out, you're running like a small farm, most definitely. The best part is the slot count doesn't change no matter what. They're all 11 slots. So
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Next, we have the Lizard Containers. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 2.74 megabytes to install. We have the Grain Container Big 3-axle for $3,500 and a 45,000 liter capacity. And we have the Grain Container Small for 2 axles, $2,500 to buy and 4,300 liters for its capacity. Now, this is one of those hook lift trailer systems made for either the 3 axles or the 4 axle hook lift system. Uh, all in all, for, I mean, 3 megabytes and a capacity of 4,500 for the big or 4,300 for the small, that price point of $3,500 or $2,500, oh, wow. So this will work with like the IT runner pack that we do have here in base game, and that is ridiculous, a ridiculous price. I love the IT runner pack from back in FS19. I used to play with it all the time. I still really like it. It's not something I get a chance to use that often, but I mean, all in, you're talking the actual trailer system, the hook itself. That's I think like $4,500 plus, the 3,500 for the big. I mean, you're talking near $1,000 per 1,000 liters for this trailer, and it's got a really good capacity when you kind of shake everything out. I like this one. I would absolutely install this. I do believe I have the IT runner pack installed, and I will install this one as well.
um, for me, I'm not a huge fan of the hook lift stuff, like the IT runner stuff. I'm really not. Um, I mean, it looks good. I mean, especially because it has like the dented look. It's been used, like it's been worn out. Um, because it has like all like slick dents all through the entire mod, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It looks phenomenal. Um, and uh, and you can use it as a tipper, or you can lay it on the ground and open the doors and put like logs or like boxes or something inside of it, which makes it pretty nifty, if you ask me.
Oh, well,
Um,
exactly. I mean, you can even throw in like small bits of equipment in here as well.
yeah, like a dirt bike, motorcycle, four wheeler, something like that. And it's only one slot and one slot.
Nice. Like I said, I think I'm definitely going to install this. I don't think I have, but I think I'm going to. Let's see. Next one we have is the Kroger EAD 14. This is by DW Modding and is 10.14 megabytes to install. This is a dolly for a price tag of $55,500. Whew, that is an expensive bit of equipment for what you're getting. But let's take a look at our close comparables. So dollies would be, I don't think I've ever used a dolly here in the game in FS25, to be honest. So
I never have.
I mean, I have used them in the past, but I don't think I've used them here in 25, and I don't even think I've used them in 22, to be honest. Um, hmm, where are the dollies kept? That's a good question.
Under miscellaneous at the bottom.
Under miscellaneous at the bottom. Oh, hey, there we go. There, yeah. Good on you, Will. All right, so the closest comparable we have in base game is the Crampy Dolly 10L, $18,500. Oh, so much cheaper. So much cheaper. Holy smokes. $55,500 for this modded here. I mean, this thing better do your taxes for that kind of price increase. I mean, right there, right off the bat, is a hard pass for me. I would much rather, if I'm going to get a dolly, which is very extremely rare, I'm going to go with the cheaper one for 18,500 rather than spending an extra near $35,000 for this one. Again,
Right.
this one best do your taxes. Oh, holy smokes. And I'll save the 11 megabytes for something else. Will, what do you say?
Hard pass. Um, I mean, it's 5 slots, so it's not all.
No, not at
I mean,
all.
the base game's way cheaper. so and I don't really use dollies. I mean, if I had to use a dolly for something, guess what? I'm buying a semi. You know.
Now, I will say that this mod does look really good. I mean, for a dolly,
Does.
you can see it's got all the connectors kind of just slung over the like the arm bar there. You've got the actual connection plate. Like this looks, in my opinion, this looks better than the base game Crampy, but that price though. That price though is
Yeah.
that's a non-negotiable for me. So, yeah, hard pass. Next one we have is the Kinsey MacTill 261 by Hispano, 10.03 megabytes to install, $72,500 to buy, 8-meter working with, 390 horsepower is required for this. So again, looking at our comparables, this is a disc harrow. So we're going to go up to our disc harrows, which is up here, and we have a working width of 8 meters. So we're talking, ooh, the Dalbo Power Chain 800 is going to be our closest comparable, as you can see right here. $43,000 to buy and a horsepower requirement of 180 horses. Now, just real quick, nope. So I was right. So yeah, looking at this here, you're already saving a ton of money. $43,000 to buy the Dalbo as compared to 72,500 right off the bat. There, you're saving almost 30 grand. Almost 30 grand right off the bat. Same working with, and the horsepower requirement 390 horses for the mod as compared to the Dalbo base game of 180. You have half the horsepower requirement. You're nearly saving 30 grand right off the top. I mean, I'm just going to go with the base game Dalbo in this case. This is a pass for me.
I love it. But to be fair though, I use a lot in Memphis. So, and the one thing that he does not mention, um, is that you can actually switch it between Kinsey and Degelman. Um, so
Oh yeah,
so
brand
if you
configurations.
yeah, so if you like the Degelman brand, there you go. So, I mean, for me, I love it. I installed it. Awful.
No, I mean, if it wasn't for that big price difference compared to our base game comparable, I would totally be on board with it. It looks great. I mean, Hispano, as always, makes fantastic mods, and I tell you what, this run of mods, it's going to turn into the Hispano hour here over the next couple of you know couple of mods here. So buckle up, y'all, because next one we have is the Kokerling All-Rounder Flatline 600, again by Hispano, 14.8 megabytes to install, $51,000 to buy, 6-meter, working with 250 horsepower is required. So we've got a cultivator this time. So taking a look at our cultivators and 6-meter working with, it's gonna be the Horsch Finer 6SL, $25,000 to buy, 220 horsepower required. So again, right off the bat, looking at prices, you're spending double for the Kokerling here as compared to the horse in base game. So 25,000 compared to 51,000, same working with. Now, horsepower isn't as dramatic of a change as the previous one was. The base game has a requirement of 220 compared to 250 for the mod. So again, because of that price, half the price for the same working with, it's going to be a pass, but looks great. Hispano does great work.
Um, it would also be a pass for me as well. No, I agree. You know, it looks absolutely fantastic. Um, and I mean, it's from Hispano. I mean, there's not really too much I can really say about it. um, even though it was base game in FS22, so he is on the urge of converting everything that Giants hasn't over to 25. From the base game from 22. And it's only 8 slots, so it's not incredibly high.
Nice.
So.
Next one we have is the Annaberger Fieldliner HTS31. This is by HT Modding. It is 14.97 megabytes to install. Price of $105,000 and a capacity of starting out at 55,000, can go up to 550,000 liters. Whew. Yeah, that's a bit nuts. But we're going to look at the real capacities, quote unquote, as you all did not see my finger quotes there. So it's true. I did do the finger quotes, then realized afterwards, wait a minute, I'm not on camera right now.
Yes.
Oh, so looking at our comparables, we have already a failure before I move on of the $1,000 per 1,000 liters. This is actually almost double that. So you're looking at $2,000 per 1,000 liters. But again, looking at our comparables, 55,000 liter capacity. We're gonna put us at the Bergman HTW65, $99,500 to buy, and a capacity of 56,400. So the Bergman here, base game, already starts out at a, oh, wait, nope. Is this something that will fill multi-fruits, or is this just a like a fodder trailer?
For the mod?
Yep.
So your first option, just your silage stuff. But if you click over for the standard capacity, you can do silage and everything.
Okay, so you can get this in the standard capacity where it will have all the options, like all the capacity. Okay,
Yep.
so if that's the case, then we'll go ahead and pass on the Bergman, because the Bergman is only for your fodder, your grass, your sugarcane, your wood chips, silage, chaff, things like that. You can't actually do the multi fruits. So we're going to look at the Krone GX520. That's going to be our closest comparable, because that one will do everything. 52,000 liter capacity, 132,500. So that kind of changes things around a little bit. So $105,000 for a 55,000 liter capacity. So right off the bat, you're saving about 30, actually close to 25 grand, give or take, and a capacity increase of 3,000 liters. So you're saving money, you're getting a little bit more, but you're still spending $2,000 nearly per 1,000 liters. So it's going to be a pass for me, unfortunately. Will, what do you think?
Same here, pass for me. I mean, if I use yeah, um, like the amenity chaser bin, like I'm using like a head dump trailer or something like that. If I'm gonna use something just like that, um, and if I'm not wrong, which I don't think I am, how much was that for the Annaberger?
105.
And how much could it hold standard?
55.
Yeah, so the it's like the Trout River that came with the DLC,
Mm-hmm.
Plains and Prairies. It's $103,500. Basically 37,000 liters. Like hold everything. So I mean, it's cheaper. I mean, yeah, it's gonna hold less, but it's cheaper than that. um, but no, it would definitely be a pass for me. I didn't really, and it's 8 slot, so.
All right. Next one we have is the Poniger Jumbo. The Poniger Jumbo 10,020. This by Hispano, 30.08 megabytes to install, $126,500 to buy, and a horsepower requirement of 250, and a capacity of 46,600 liters. So, taking a look at our forage wagons now. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Where? Oh, where? There it is. Forage wagons. Capacity 46.6. Let's see. Looks like the closest one we're going to have is the Pontinger Jumbo, 8450 DB, $158,000 to buy, a capacity of 47,300 liters. So right off the bat, the mod is actually cheaper, significantly so, about 25 plus grand. So about 27, it looks like, yeah, about $27,000 that you're saving from the base mod here, or base forage wagon here. Horsepower requirement is exactly the same, and the capacities. Now, the Jumbo from base game is 47,300 compared to the mod's 46,600. So you're saving, what I say, about 22,000, I think is what I said. Yeah, about 22,000. And
Yeah,
you're
somewhere about there.
only losing about 1,000 liters. Not even 1,000 liters, actually. You're only losing about, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7,000 or 700 liters is all you're losing, but you're saving quite a bit. 30.08 megabytes, 31 megabytes to install. That's a bit high for me, but might be worth that cost savings. So all in all, I could potentially be talked into this one, even though it is above that 25 megabyte threshold that I look for, but it's not much. It's not much over that. So the cost savings might be enough to tip it in its favor. So what do you say there, Will?
Pass for me. I don't really use loaded wagons very often. If I do, I just use yeah, as a mod. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm very excited it is inside the game. Loves Pottinger. And it's 14 slots. So
Now, real quick, want to catch up with the chat just real fast. We got Streamcatcher. How's it going, Streamcatcher? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says, hey, BDD. Hey, Streamcatcher. We also have SS Farmer. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hello, BDD Gaming and everyone. And says, ooh, I don't know what that says. Is it like spike? Hashtag like spike. I don't know what that is. I hope it's something good. Anyways, Jonah. How's it going, Jonah? Says, hey, BDD, and hey, WillT.
what up?
Hope you're having a fantastic day there, Jonah. Let's see, do you have anybody you need to catch up with?
This I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. It's something something pigs. Um, says hello, how are you? I'm doing right.
All right. So next one we have is the Cody Garrett FRC 55, also by Hispano. Again, like I said, this is going to turn into Hispano hour. 3.20 megabytes to install. This is a slurry transport tanker almost. $33,500 to purchase, 70 horsepower required, and has a capacity starting of 55,000, can go up to 2 million liters. Whew. Whew. I like it.
BDD's favorite.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But we really don't have anything that's going to be a good comparable. No, wait, I lied. I lied. We do have the well, really it's the same thing. The Cody Garrett FRC 65. So in base game. Checking that out, has a capacity of 65,000 liters, 70 horsepower still required. So this is actually just a little bit bigger than this one here, but it costs a little bit less. Now, what I will say is that the mod here does have the party trick of going up to 2 million liters, to where the base game one doesn't. But if we're looking at the kind of, raw, minimums here, again, you're spending about, what is that, to about $9,000 less for the mod compared to the base game here. But the base game is giving you about 10,000 liters more in capacity. 3.2 megabytes to install, so 4 megabytes to install. I mean, me personally, I'd install this one. Absolutely. It's going to give you a different capacity range. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. And you have the ability to go bonkers, crank your volume to 11, and go with 2 million liters. So, all in all, I think this is a nice one. I'd definitely install this.
I would say yes. Um, if you don't like doing slurry work, it's not going to be for you. That's what it's mainly used for. Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, so basically you take a tractor, you hook it up, you haul it down to the edge of the field, and then you want to make sure it's empty before you haul it, because if you try hauling it, have fun. um, So overall for me, it's gonna be a pass. I like doing work, but I usually just use a tanker and just unload it inside of it and like into a slurry spreader. So it's not bad. Only 4 slots too.
Yeah, I mean, 4 megabytes and 4 slots. I mean, I'll say this. I learned from personal experience what Will said is true. Don't try and tow this around full. It was not fun. Not fun at all. All right.
Do it at your
moving
own
on.
risk.
Do it at your own risk. Exactly. Learn from my experiences. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
Next one we have is the Samsung Flex 2023. This is also by Hispano, 13.89 megabytes to install, $85,000 to buy, 200 horsepower is required, a working width of 24 meters, and a capacity starting of 22,900, goes up to 200,000 liters. I love it. I love it. Under manure spreaders, our closest comparable is going to be the, let's see, looks like the Bergman TSW 6240W. $110,000 to buy and 220 horsepower to run it. So looking at this, we have the starting price of $85,000 compared to $110,000. So this mod is going to save you about, what is that, $25,000. Horsepower is a little bit less at 200 compared to 220 for the Bergman, and then the working width are exactly the same. Now the capacities, the mod here, the Samsung, is 22,900 compared to the Bergman's 24,000. So you are going to take a little bit of a slash in the capacity, but $85,000, saving 25 grand. It's only 14 megabytes, same working width. This one is absolutely one to install. and it has a little bonus feature of 200,000 liter capacity, you'd be able to get your whole field done in one fill up. I mean, who doesn't do manure work on their fields and just sit there and just regret every second of it because you're having to run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to wherever your manure is being stored just so you can load this up
Right.
multiple times.
Mm.
I mean, I know, Will, you're not big onto the Unreal mods, but you got to feel my sales pitch here. Less travel
Now,
between the farm. What do you think?
um, well, once again, I definitely want to say you're big into doing cows and you love doing. It's gonna be all for you, especially if you like the Samson brand. That one's not necessarily for me because the only one I really use right now is just the K brand, the one that shoots from the side, the K brand Knight. Um, Overall, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's a little odd with like the little wheel in the back. It's got the big wheel, and they got the little wheel in the back. Um, like I said, overall, if it's something you like, especially if it's the Samsung brand, there you go. It's only 7 slots, so
All right, next one we have is the Furman Trailer 14500L. This is by Hispano. 6.53 megabytes to install, $47,000 to buy, 14,500 liter capacity starting. 200,000 liter is what it can get up to when you crank it to 11. So this is a grapes and olives trailer, as you can see in these screenshots here. I think it's supposed to be strictly grapes if I'm not mistaken, but Will, keep me honest on that one.
back in FS22, it was grapes only, but he added out.
Ah, nice. All right, well, taking a look, I mean, we do have the Furman as a base brand and the 14,500 liter trailer. This is basically supposed to be a stand-in for the next line up in the actual Furman brand. So you can see we have base game, the LWS 12,000. That is the 12,000 liter equivalent. We have the 6,000 well. That's the 6,000 liter equivalent. So taking a look, $47,000 to purchase compared to the $39,000. So you're getting a little bit smaller of a trailer, but you're spending a little bit less as well. But it is in line with the kind of price points here. So the extra, what is that, 2,500 liters for an additional, what is that, $8,000? I mean, basically, if you want something that is going to be able to be kind of more universal to where you're going to have grapes and olives to be able to load in and have a little bit higher starting capacity, that's nice. But again, being able to crank this up to 11 for the 200,000 liters, if you don't mind doing a little bit of unrealistic, work on your farm, this is going to be a good one for 7 megabytes to install. I say install this one, but I'm not going to install this one because I'm not big into grapes or olives.
Uh, um, for me, it's not bad. I didn't really use it in FS22 very much, so I mean, for me, I'm not going to install it. I mean, it is small in the megabyte download, which isn't bad. But I'll just stick with the base game one. I do want to say it's not bad. It's only 4 slots, so it's not too heavy on the slot count. So
All right, next one we have is the Vicon Fanix 904. This is a tether made by Hispano, 7.66 megabytes to install, and you can purchase it for 16,500, horsepower of 80, and a working width of 9 meters. So once again, looking at our base game, we've got under tethers and a 9-meter tether. Its closest one's going to be the Samaz P8 890 for $16,500, the same exact price as the mod, and a working width of 8.9, so 0.1 meters smaller for the same exact price. Horsepower requirement for the Samaz though is 60 horsepower compared to the 80 for the Fanix. So overall, 8 megabytes to install, and you get a little bit bigger of working with. Not much. I mean, it's only 0.1 meters. I mean, at the end of the day, same price. It's almost the same working with. I mean, 8 meters. It's one of those like, yeah, I can put it in for the 8 megabytes, but for really, you're getting almost identical with the Samaz here in base game. So likely this would be one that I'm gonna pass over. Even the only thing that would kind of tip the scale is if I was a Vicon fan, you know.
Right.
But personally, again, I don't have that kind of brand loyalty, so I'd be fine with this Samaz. What do you think there, Will?
The pass for me. I mean, I'm not huge into the Vicon brand, so I wouldn't really use it that often. I mean, for tethers, if I use any tethers at all, it's from ADA or AgriBusiness in Austria. So no wrong, it looks absolutely fantastic. So it's only 5 slots, so it's not all.
All right, next one we have is the Tree Planter and Forestry Shredder. This is by Yoga Dim and is 1.68 megabytes to install, $60,000 to buy, and a capacity of 240. So what this says here in the description is Tree Planter and Forestry Shredder, an essential tool for your forestry activity. With it, you can remove and shred stumps very efficiently, as well as plant your seedlings. So this being kind of a double whammy of being able to rip out your stumps as well as be able to plant behind it. So I believe we have something very similar to this in base game. Is it under? No, not under excavator tools. There we go. So we do have the Rusatech SKB 240. Now, again, same capacity, 240 capacity for your seedlings, but I don't think this works as uh, a stump remover as well. It does say in the little description in the bottom there, it says this tree planter plants new trees into the ground. You can buy pallets of saplings at the shop and fill the planter. So the base game one is just the planter. This one here has kind of a double whammy. So 1.68 megabytes to install is not that bad. 2 megabytes, at the end of it, $60,000 to purchase compared to the strictly the planter for $67,500. I mean, if you like doing forestry work and you like using these excavators like the Volvo here in the screenshot, go for it. That's kind of a nice little thing, being able to kind of rip out your stumps without having to do much of anything else. And you can just sit there and turn around and plant right behind it. So all in all, yeah, I'd install this one. What do you say there, Will?
I'm not big into forestry stuff, so once again, pass for me. Just be aware if you're using it and you try taking out a large stump. I'm just gonna tell you right now, you're gonna be disappointed because you'll be sitting there for trying to get it. For small tree stumps, no problem. No wrong, it looks absolutely fantastic. So the modder definitely, I want to say, put a lot of time and effort into it, but I think it's just copy and paste base one, just with some added features, and it compared to the base game. So, overall, for all the functions and everything that it has with 3 slots. So
Next one we have is the Lizard Silage Fork. This is by Sully. It is 3.31 megabytes to install. This is a wheel loader attachment. The capacity of 5,000 liters, $3,000 to purchase, and the width is 3.7 meters. So taking a look at our wheel loader tools up here. There we go. Wheel loader tools. We do have something very similar to it because we do have the Albert Silage Fork for $10,500 and a capacity of 8,000 liters. So taking a look at this, the one from the Mod Hub, we've got a capacity of 5,000 liters. So we're losing out on 3,000 liters, but the price is only $3,000. The price here in base game is 10,500. So, I mean, really, you could buy this silage fork here on the mod hub almost 3 times over, and you're going to be, better off for it. So the savings is a lot better, but the capacity per scoop is going to be a lot less. So all in all, 4 megabytes to install. I could be fine with this. You can also configure this into a telehandler or the wheel loader. At the end of the day, yeah, I think this is pretty nice. I would definitely install this.
Well, I mean, if you're starting out, and you're just starting out with silage or wheel loader, by all means use it, because it's definitely a lot smaller than the game one. So that's all I would really have to say towards that. Other than it's only 2 slots, so it's not going to use up a whole bunch of mod space. Well, not mod, well, it's not going to use up that, but it's not going to use up a whole lot of slot count either. So
Next one we have is the New Holland 850 kg weight. This is by STV Modding. 1.55 megabytes to install, $900 to purchase. It's an 850 kilogram weight. At the end of the day, it's kind of like the slice weight. It's a weight. Now, I will say, referring back to the Farm Sim talk I had yesterday with Chris S., big shout out to him. Thank him again for coming onto the show. That is the one and only time I can think of where I can actually say without a shadow of a doubt that that was not just a weight. The adjustable cloth weight that he had come out with, I mean, blows out all the other weights out of the water. This one is just a weight. So this one is going to be a pass for me because I'm sure we can get something that is relatively around the same size in the mod hub that's going to do the same exact job. I'm sorry, in the base game that's going to do nearly the same exact job. So this is a pass.
I mean, I'd agree. It's a weight. I mean, if you like New Holland, please. And also, like, once again, like, we're not telling you that you shouldn't install this. If you love New Holland and you love that weight, by all means, go use it. It's just not on our list.
Exactly.
What's up?
I said, go on with your bad self.
It's only 2 slots, so you're not taking up a whole lot of slot count for that.
Nice. All right. Moving on, we've got the Stone Logistics Center. This is by Omega Mods, and it is $45,000 to buy. This is a production point where you can basically produce stones. This kind of works like the base game Stone Crusher that we have, except this is an actual like production. You can turn it on, turn it off, kind of go from there. If we take a look at the productions in base game, let me find that Stone Crusher. Where is that Stone Crusher?
It'd be under factories and productions.
Yeah, it's just finding it in the list is Debris Crusher. There it is. Stones will be collected free of charge from the building. So yeah, that's essentially what this thing does. Is it allows you to kind of collect your stuff free of charge. So it's not free because it does cost a cycles per month cost kind of thing, but at the end of the day, $45,000 to purchase this. And the amount that it digs up is really huge. It goes pretty quickly. The price here in the base game is $99,000 for the Debris Crusher to produce the free stones, to where this is half that price at $45,000. It's a huge building. It's got kind of an imposing presence. I do like this, and I did install it. Now, if you have a computer that can handle it, you do get the kind of nice neon glow sign that's on the front of it. You can see in the first screenshot right there. So very nice, but it does require a very specific set of hardware to be able to do it. But other than that, it's a nice little mod. Nice mod. I like it. What do you think?
It's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, if you're on PC, have like the right requirements, I think it's fantastic. with like the neon lights. Um, there's also a point that you can also, so if you pick up stones off the field, you can actually dump them into there as well. So you can store them as well, which is awesome. When DJ Goham did his mod review for it, um, he actually sped up through a full day, so from like 11 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically filled. So
Yeah, it loads super fast.
yeah, um, the I mean, when I don't know, I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. I would probably stick with the base game. I mean, unless I wanted to change, but yeah, um, it is 27 slots, so keep that in mind for everybody.
The one thing I will say is that although this in theory and concept is very nice, it does feel cheaty. Like if you're
Mhm.
using this to get stones, you are getting it at such a insane rate that I mean, yeah, it's just one of those that just feels wrong personally. But if you're not in or not, you know, big into the cheating mods or things like that, quote unquote cheating mods, the ones that, you know, high powered, high capacity, things like that. I mean, this will go right along with it. You'll be able to dig up your stones super fast. You can pass it along to other, you know, factories along the way, create lime, create salt, whatever the case may be. You'll be able to use it for this. So yeah, it's a good
Well,
mod. It is one I did install, but I don't know how often I'll use it.
well, it's probably why DJ loves it so much.
Very true. Next one is the Field Silo, 1.23 megabytes to install by Team LTW. And we have a series of bunker silos, essentially what this is, without the bunkers. So, I mean, we've got different sizes, different prices, but it looks like the most expensive one being $41,400. No, I'm sorry, $76,500, but it's pretty big. It's 43 meters by 30 meters. It's a large working area there. This one here, for me personally, is going to be a pass. There's nothing in particular wrong with it per se. You know, 2 megabytes to install. You got numerous different, you know, field silos to work with. I very rarely use, you know, quote unquote bunker silos like this one here. So having kind of a wide open, you know, bunker silo is just not going to be my cup of tea, but nothing wrong with it in particular, just not doesn't fit my scheme. So, Will, what do you think?
Well, I mean, as much as I love bunker silos, I would have to pick up. They're not my kind of. The one plus thing I will definitely have to say about it though, that it doesn't leak,
Oh,
so there's no
nice.
clippage.
Now, I
So
will say there, Will, you are breaking up a bit.
is this
That's
better?
that's sounding better. Next one we have is
All
the
right.
Thatched House. This is by Gamers HZS FSH. Okay. 7.38 megabytes to install, and we have a price point of $30,000. This is a farmhouse, and Will, take it away.
You can't go inside. Boo!
It looks nice though. I will say it's definitely got the kind of dirtying look on the outside. Got some pretty nice details on it. If you look on the one side of the house, you kind of got the little ladder loft, little picnic, you know, table area on the side. It's nice. It's a nice looking house. Unfortunately, you can't go inside, but for 8 megabytes, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. 30 grand to buy as well. It definitely has that kind of, you know, style to it that's going to fit in very specific maps. So not going to be one that I would necessarily install unless I was working on a map that could fit the theme of this. But nothing really outside of the realm of, you know, anything really disqualifies it for me. Will, what do you think?
Um, well, you can't go inside, so it automatically just it does look great though. There's a lot of detail to it, so I will give it that. But it would be a pass for me. The house is 20 slots, so just keep that in mind. And for the bunker silos, because I never stated, there's 3 of them in the pack and each 8 slots. So
Well, not on. Oh, the previous pack. Sorry, gotcha.
yeah,
All right, next one is the Wooden Garage. This is by ICUS, 3.47 megabytes to install, and a price point of $10,000. So, I mean, take everything that we say for ICUS, copy and paste it, and here you go again. It's nice, love it. 4 megabytes to install, and you've got yourself, I'm not going to say small, but relatively small shed. And it's nice. It's got a real good look on it. You got the deco on the outside. You got the nice little kind of design on the inside. What more can you say about it? I like it. I'd install it.
well, it's like us. You already know what I'm gonna say. I already installed it. Um, I absolutely do love it. And it's only 16 slots, so it's not majorly high on the slot count.
Next one we have is the Old Barn by Patty. 4.55 megabytes to install, $10,000 to purchase. And yeah, you get that nice barn lofted roof. I like this one as well. Patty and Icus kind of go hand in hand. This one, I think, very similar to the previous one. Looks very sharp. It's got good details. I like it. I would absolutely install this for 5 megabytes.
And I already did. I got super happy when I actually saw that. Um, and it's only 6 slots, which out of just I don't know if it's me personally, but to see something from Patty or Icus with being such a low slot count surprises.
Oh, without a doubt. All right. Next one we have is the Universal Crusher. This is by Kia Go Modding Empro Loop, 22.02 megabytes to install. And we have a price point of $75,000 to purchase. Now, that is for the Universal Crusher, but you also have the Silicon and Ore Production. That is $100,000. Now, focusing on the Universal Crusher at first, again, $75,000. It will produce things such as stone, sand, wood, and water. Those are the ingredients going in. And then you got things such as your lime production, where it'll produce lime, gravel, and sand. You got your iron ore productions, which will take in your stones and water, and you have your iron ore, stones, gravel, and sand out. You also have your ore productions, again, stones and water in, gravel, gold ore, copper ore, stones, sand out. We got the sand filling, which sand in, and you get your industrial sand, play sand, and quartz sand as your outputs. And then wood chip productions, you got your wood in and you got wood chips out. So that's everything for the Universal Crusher. And then you got your silicon and your ore productions. You got your silicon productions, your first one here, where you have your quartz sand in and your silicon out. Your gold production, which is your gold ore in and your gold out. And then your copper production, copper ore in, copper out. So yeah, this one here is a lot. You get to do a lot of different things with it, and it's nice. I like this. 23 megabytes to install, so it's not that intrusive. You get a bunch of new productions, a bunch of new products to come up with. All in all, I like this. I think this is definitely one worth installing. What do you think there, Will?
I mean, it definitely gives something different. Just beware because a map can only hold so many like new fill types at once. So I would just be very aware of that. Um, and I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a cheat
You broke up there.
because
You said that you feel this is cheaty?
I feel like it's a cheaty mod, especially for the gold.
What makes you say that?
Because the how much you can sell the gold for is ridiculous. So per 1,000 liters, 24 million.
Per 1,000 liters is 24 million?
Yeah.
Whoa. Now, I will say that the gold ore production that it's talking about there, let's see, you can get for your 50 stones and 30 water, you get 4 gold ore. So not a lot of gold ore. But then you look at the actual ore productions, so the secondary portion of things, you get the gold ore in at 1,000 liters, you get 1 liter of gold. So it's gonna take forever before you even
Mhm.
get 1,000 liters of gold. So
Yeah.
it's gonna just sit there and chug and chug and chug, and it's gonna cost
Yeah.
you $35 an hour. So yeah, that does seem really, really high, but it's gonna take you forever before you can actually get something to produce.
Right. And I mean, overall for me, it would definitely be a pass. Like I said, I don't really kind of do that kind of stuff, so that would be a pass for me. So like the rock crusher thing that we have base game, like it's 6 slots. There's like the factory building area, and then your pallet of sand you can get and stuff like that. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Let's see. So Streamcatcher says, right, BTFM, keep up the good work, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and continue on. Do you have anybody you need to respond to?
nope.
Moving on, we got the Big Garage by Gamers HZSFSH. It is $35,000 to buy, size of 44 meters by 12 meters. So pretty decent sized little building here. Let's see. And yeah, 10.88 megabytes to install. It's not that bad. Again, has that kind of look to it that's going to be very specific to a specific style of map. For me, again, it doesn't necessarily meet my style of maps and play. So likely going to be one I skip unless I go onto a map that's going to fit it. But all in all, it looks good. It has the nice creeping ivy on the one side, the nice little kind of archways on the inside. Does fit some larger vehicles. You can see the picture of the harvester and the one bay door. Yeah, if you're looking for just kind of an overall building to store a bunch of your vehicles in, this might be a good one for you. What do you think there, Will?
I definitely agree with you, BDD. It definitely is one of those kind of sheds you have to be on the right map for. I don't feel like you can place it on any mapping. Um, I don't feel like it would fit like every single style map. Um, for me, it's a pass. I do want to say though that the slot count is harsh on that. It's it's 40 slots,
Whoo!
so just keep that in mind too.
Yeah. All right, next one we have is the product distribution. This is by NASA B82 and it is 18.39 megabytes to install. And we have a series of productions where you can put in your various inputs such as milk, honey, eggs, wool, buffalo's milk, and goat's milk. And you can basically use this as a kind of distribution system. There's also separate tankers that are supplied in this pack. You've got the Lizard MKS8, the MKS32, the Trailer 550, and 1600. So essentially what these are production points, but they are used specifically to be able to move production along from one place to another. So you can just set up like a distributorship. Um, so all in all, you're basically looking at these various cars here. Each one of them do have their own kind of unique input. As you can see, you've got like your honey on this yellow kind of van here, you got eggs in the red, and so on and so forth. You do have a kind of overall conglomerate van that'll take everything in the third screenshot here. And for a price point of $1,000 for each one of these productions is not that bad. All in all, if you just kind of want to save on the running around for your, specifically for things like your wool, your eggs, your honey, then this would be kind of a good way to do it because you can just set this up to just be right next to the spawn point of any of those products. and then boom, just have it distributed out to any of your other productions downstream that you want this to kind of go to. All in all, I think this is nice for 19 megabytes, though. That's a bit high for productions that don't produce anything, but are just
Yeah.
specifically for the distribution purposes. So for me, it's nice. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I like the idea of having the ability to have something to distribute your products, but at the same time, it's one of those. Is it worth 19 megabytes for the space? I'm not sure. So this one, I'm gonna be on the fence about. What do you think there, Will?
That's a pass for me. The only reason why I say that is because I actually load the pallets up and actually transport them myself. Because that's just the way I like to play. So that would be a pass for me. Um, I mean, overall, if it's something new like you, I mean, if you're like me and you're the complete opposite, and you like to um, like DJ Goham or BDD over here, who just wants to set it down and just have it go just disappear, be like, oh, it's already open. By all means, yeah, it's the apps. Each van, because there's 7 of them, they're let's say they're just, oh yeah, so there's 8 of them, I believe.
8 of them. Yep.
Yeah. So they're 7 slots apiece. And then you have like barrels that you can buy, um, that you can actually fill up with like milk, put them in, transport that way, send it off. There are 3 of them. So your first trailer, which is MKS, that's 4 slots for your MK32. For the Abbey 550, that's 3 slots, and then for your Abbey 1600, so it's
You're
not
breaking up
awful in the
again, real
select.
bad there, bud.
I don't know why.
I wonder if you need to rejoin the call, if that would help. Let's see.
Like give it a whirl.
All right, next one we have is the Forestry Machine Hall with Workshop by HR Frost and Vasugbao, 8.16 megabytes to install. This is a shed for $180,000. Now, this does have capacities for your chainsaws. As you can see here in the third screenshot, it has room for 5 chainsaws within the bay here. It does have a repair trigger in it as well. Very, very nice, this mod. For 9 megabytes, it is heavy on the price, though, I will say that, but it is large enough to be able to store some of your larger implements for your forestry work. You can see you've got like the Rotna harvester, you got the impacts, tree harvester here as well. So this is a big, big building, very tall, very usable. So all in all, I like it. I think it's really cool. And it also has this little flat rack here on the side here, as it shows in the 6th and final screenshot, and it uses the kind of Junheinrich modded high lift that we got, I think it was last week or the week before, if I'm not mistaken. But it's nice. I like it. What do you think there, Will?
Um. Can you hear me any bit better?
I can, yep.
Okay. Um. For me, once again, I mean it's by HR Force, so you know it's gonna be highly detailed. I think you can store up to it's 5 or 6, like above the names on the on. There's like a wow, lockers. Yeah, there's like storage area on top of the locker. You can store the chainsaws. I think it's awesome. Um, I mean, for me, it was a pass. But if you like it, get it. It is 22 slots, so just keep that in mind. So,
Next one we have is the Manure Heap by Martin CZ, 2.78 megabytes to install, and we've got a few of them in here. We got the manure heap small for $15,000, and what is that? That is a 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a 4 million liter capacity. The medium for $30,000, and that's a 8 million liter capacity, and the large $45,000 for a what is that? 12 million liters? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 12 million liter capacity. So absolutely massive manure heaps. 3 megabytes to install. I tell you what, I'll click that download button and go ahead and install this because that's awesome. Big, huge capacities for these. They look good, and yeah, they work as nice little manure extensions. So the animal barns will be able to load directly into it. So I like it. I think that's definitely worth it for 3 megabytes. What do you think there, Will?
Oh, they're not bad looking, especially when you can actually see like the rebarb inside the concrete when you have like chips. Um, it does look like a very good mod. There are certain style manure heaps I like. Unfortunately, it's not one of them. So it would be a pass for me. But I do want to say though that because there are 3 of them, each of them is 3 slots, so you're not using up a massive.
I mean, dirt cheap, not big to install, and not big on the slot count. I think this is the trifecta of wins. All right, and the last new mod for the what is this? The first, yeah, August 1st is the wood entrance. This is by BK Mods, 4.83 megabytes to install, and a price of $250. Whew, we're gonna break the bank on this one. It's a farmway entrance. It's nice, a little bit of deco, doesn't hurt nobody, and I do like it. I think this is kind of an interesting look to it. It's got the cool little like old school wagon that's perched up on top of it there. All in all, if you're looking for a bit of deco and having just a little bit of flair on your farm, this might be a good way to do it for 5 megabytes to install and a really cheap price point. I could see this one being all right. Not something I'm going to go rush right out and install, but definitely one that I could be talked into. What do you think there, Will?
Well, there are certain farm entrances that I like FSGs from FSG moddings from FS22, and also Zessiming as Legacy Eggs. Love both of them. I don't know. This one just didn't scream download, so I didn't really get it. It didn't really scream for me too. So don't get me wrong. It looks really nice. Looks highly detailed. So if it's something you like, go install it. It is 7 slots, so it's not going to break the slot bank.
Excellent, excellent. So like I said, that was the last new one for the first. What was your favorite of the group?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Ooh, that is a tough one. Me personally, I would probably have to go with the 2019.
Say that again. You're breaking up again. The 2019.
With Series 9.
Why am I not seeing that one?
It was the 4th one we talked about.
Oh, the Deutsch Series 9. Gotcha. You know what? We're going to align on that one. Yeah, that'd be my favorite as well. All right, so we do have an update to talk about. We actually have 2 updates to talk about. First one is Daheim by Calais. This update includes the changelog 1.1.0.0, and it says, note, new save game required. Thank you, Calais, for being definitive with your notes on your updates. Remove sheep, goats, and cows from pastures that do not belong to the farm from the beginning to prevent unattended development and production, aka we took out the sheep, goats, and cows in order to not produce their products into the world without you actually owning them. So basically, what happens is that if the mechanisms exist within the pen that will provide your animal subsistence, and have a production out of them, it will produce for the pens and pastures around the map that you do not own. So basically, you get free product that you can come by, pick up at any point, because it doesn't matter whether it belongs to you or not, or that it's owned by you, it's going to sit there and produce it. So basically, the modders have to remove the animals in order to make sure that you're not getting free product out of it. So that's what that update is. The stubble destruction and summer cereals removed to avoid problems with straw swathing. I'm not exactly sure what was the problems that were being avoided for that, but the stubble destruction and cereals, summer planting was removed. Added collisions at the northern train station, added collisions at the dairy farm, corrected time event water crate. And that was the update for that one. I ended up running through and seemed like everything was on the up and up on this one. I confirmed that the animals were removed. I confirmed that the summer cereals were removed. Didn't confirm it the stubble destruction, but I will take their word for it. And not sure about the collisions because it doesn't get into serious descriptors as to what those collisions were added. So all in all, it is a good update. I enjoyed it. What do you think there, Will?
Oh, it's a map I'm not going to play on, but I mean, I'm glad I got an update. So, so, and also, thank you, Kelly, thank you so much for actually saying a new save. Fired.
And do you want to take the lead on the next update?
Yes, there is one I want to touch up on real quick though, which is the liftable bales and pallets, or liftable pallets and bales. I'm not going to read over the full changelog stuff, but I do want to read this right here though. That added bales that turn grass into silage instantly. And then there's also added bales that turn grass into hay instantly. I saw that and I'm like, oh, I love that. Yeah, this guy over here, BDD.
Who, me? No.
Yeah.
No.
I know
Not
you too well.
me.
um, but the main one I want to go over is so this had an overhaul. So you have version 1.1. Says some changes were made better gameplay. So, and also, I do want to say that it doesn't say in here, but you might have to reconfigure your truck. Just to let everyone know. I had to. So, um, so now you have 4 engine sound options. You have changed chassis and cab selection. Uh, Elevated 8x4 chassis. You have cabin's rear wing, which is kind of like the Euro parts, thick piece on a truck. You have a larger exhaust. You have 2 new displays, new fenders, new stickers, bumper, crystal mode front grille, which is like a new design. Because before it was just the 2 options, now you have the 3 option. You have round model front light, new rear cabin protector, bar with T-bumper lights, bar with central lights, bar with lights and clay. So those are in the rear. So like your rear tail lights, like that back piece. That's right where that's talking about. You have a chrome platform on the chassis, so that's another option. LED eyes on the window. Yes, the eyes actually move. So if it's something you like, there you go. Extra sides in the um, light bar next to the tank. Um, Added option for new rims and rear hubcaps. LED color selection. So that's pretty awesome because I think it's option 2 or it's option 4. So you have your different control group. There's 6 of them total. I believe it's either 2 or it's 4, but you select and you can actually use, so it's your RB down and it's your right thumbstick up and down, I believe it is. You can actually change the color of the lights that you want instead of doing it in game. You have LED eye color selection, exact same thing. It's a different, just different control group. You have third lift, adjustable front suspension, adjustable seat position, fixed cab extension collision bug, and fixed cockpit protector collision bug. So that got one heck of an update. Just wanted to go. So
Sure. All right. So now we are moving on to our last day for mods because we only had 2 days worth released last week. Very surprising if you ask me. All right, so we got the MAAG SSP45 by SMI Modding Team, 23.54 megabytes to download, $85,000 to buy, 220 horsepower is required, and a working width of 5 meters. So this is a seeder. So if we take a look at our seeders here in base game, we have, what is that, 5 meter working with. So we're talking, ooh, the Pottinger AeroSim VT 5000DD. That actually, is that the right comparable though? Let me, yeah, that's going to be probably the closest. Yeah, yep, that's going to be the closest. So working width of 5 meters, just like the one that is the mod there. Starting out price of $101,500 and a horsepower requirement of 200 horsepower. So, looking at the mod, we have $85,000 to purchase compared to the $101,500. So you're already saving about 16 grand, $16,500. Not too bad. The mod requires 220 horsepower as compared to the Pottinger's 200, so you're having to get a little bit bigger of a horsepower band there. 5 meter working with on both the cases there. 24 megabytes to install. So all in all, this one does come in underneath all my predetermined requirements, as well as being able to save you a bit of money for the same exact working with. All in all, I like it. It's nice. I'm not that familiar with the brand, so it's not one that I would necessarily go rushing out to buy, but it is one of those to where, you know, you're going to save a little bit of cash in order to have it. And 24 megabytes is a bit high, but not earth shattering. So yeah, I think this would be a good one to install. What do you think there, Will?
I love it. It's very highly detailed. Go figure. Um, it is by the SMI modding team. I cannot wait to use this on Giants expansion map.
I'm
I
pretty
feel
sure
like
this
that would
is
fit.
an Italian brand, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would fit perfectly on that map though, because of how tight it folds up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's 5 meters. 5 meters. I mean, for me, usually 6 meters is that's I begin. But I mean, 5 meters isn't awful. It's a meter smaller. Um, Plus, it can do fertilizer and seed. Fantastic. And it's 16 slots. The thing that blows my mind out is how it's only slots, but the amount of detail that went with that mod.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Next one we have is the Romeco Vibro Star U445. This is by JMZ. JMZ has a ton of mods out there as well. Holy smokes. This is a cultivator, 25.16 megabytes to install. Price point of 12,900. Required horsepower of 130. 6-meter working width. Not too shabby. So let's take a look at our closest comparable for our cultivators. I believe the 6-meter working widths are... Nope, not that one. Not that one. The Horse Finer 6SL. $25,000 to start out with the purchase. 220 horsepower required. And a working width of 6 meters. So the working width is exactly the same. Now, again, price point for the mod, $12,900. So you're already saving almost, what is that, $12,100 right off the bat. And horsepower, holy smokes. 220 horsepower is required for the horse compared to 130 for the Romanco. So that's, again, you're saving horsepower, you're saving money, and you're keeping the working width. And it looks good. And what's really cool about this as well is it does have that rear attacher bar. So if you've got a, as it shows on this one here, it has the roller that runs behind it. That's pretty cool. I like that. Doing more passes or doing less passes and getting more work done is always a good thing in my book. So all in all, I like this. And for 26 megabytes, it's up there. That's right on the threshold there. But it does have that little party trick of saving you money and getting more work done with less passes. So yeah, I like it.
I love it. I installed it right away. I think it was absolutely fantastic. He's
Nice.
actually making uh so when I actually talked to JMZ, I asked bring in some sort of attachment for the back of it because of that. He said that that Romanco does make a like a like a seed bed finish um roller kind of deal, crumbler. It's not really a roller. He's planning to make
Nice.
it required. It's not gonna be a required mod, but it's something separate that you can get. So I'm very very excited for that. Um, yeah, overall I absolutely love it. And it's only 8 slots for that, especially for how highly detailed it is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you can again see in the second screenshot how it's cultivating the front and then it's got that cedar right behind it. So, I mean, you can do tons of stuff with this combination as long as you got something that's going to be able to attach to it and it's the same working with.
Yeah,
That's pretty slick. I like it. Like it a lot. Next one we have is the RAW Unimat 8.4 by LS Portal Team. 15.53 megabytes to install, $15,500 to buy, 8.4 meter working with, horsepower requirement minimum of 200 horsepower. Again, this is a cultivator and it is 8.4 meters. So we're going to look for our closest comparable, going to be, the Lemken Carolyn 9840. As you can see here, $89,500 to buy, 320 horsepower, and 8.4 meter working width. So the working width is exactly the same, but everything goes off the rails after this. So the mod is $15,500 compared to the Lemken $89,500. You're saving a metric ton of money off of this mod as compared to the base game. A ton of money. Right off the bat, you can tell that that's going to be something that's going to be worth installing just for the amount of money you can save. Then you look in the horsepower requirements. The Lemken requires 320 horsepower. This requires 200. So you're saving 120 horsepower. You're saving, what is that? That is, let's see, 74,000. Yeah, $74,000.
yeah,
I mean, sign me up. Sign me up all day, all night. Love it.
right. I agree. 100% love it. I snagged it right up. I can't wait. Like the previous one and this. I can't wait to use it on that new map coming out. I'm very 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 stoked for that. Um, it's also extremely highly detailed. It's funny because when you're actually cars, like the separate little pieces, actually kind of swing until a certain moment, and then they lock, and then poof, they hit the ground. So I think that's, and then when you're driving and you go, which I think is kind of neat. For the amount of detail and everything else, I'm actually kind of surprised it's only 5 slots.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Let's see. Moving on, we've got the. Oops. Why can't I? Okay, there we go. We've got the Alpago RMAX 300. This is a power hero by Hispano, 3.76 megabytes to install, $16,500 to buy, 120 horsepower, 3-meter working width. So, looking at the power heroes, closest comparable we have is going to be the Horse Credo 3. As you can see, $14,000 to buy and 115 horsepower requirement. So, the base game one starts out at 14,000, the mod at 16,500. So you're going to save with the base game one $2,500, and then the base game also has a horsepower requirement of 115 as compared to 120 for the Alpago. So you're with this mod, you're going to have to spend more on horsepower and more on the price tag itself for the same working width. So overall, this is going to be one that I pass on. 3 meters is already small enough, and I don't want to spend an extra dime, to work 3 meters. So that's, this is going to be a pass for me. What do you say there, Will?
That would definitely be a hard pass for me. I don't really use those kind of things, especially one that small. If I want to use one, if I use a power hero, overall, it looks fantastic. Job bringing it over. It's only 3 slots, so it's not going to take up a massive slot space. So
Yeah. I will say again there, Will, you're breaking up real bad now. I don't know what is going on.
I don't know either. I even exited out of my.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, next one is the Brewery Field Pack. This is a slurry tanker by Patrick. 34.89 megabytes to install, $83,000 to purchase the 20,000 liter capacity, and a horsepower requirement of 220. That's for the Brewery Field Master 20. We have also the Field Commander 26, $120,000 to purchase this one, 26,000 liter capacity, 275 horsepower is required. So, taking a look at our slurry tankers base game, we have, let's see, for the Master 20 at 20,000 liters, let's see. Oh, the Kaweco Profi 2. That was going to be our closest comparable, $60,500 to purchase, and a horsepower requirement of 260 horsepower. So, taking a look at the mod, $83,000 to purchase that compared to the $60,500 for the Kaweco. That right there is going to save you $22,500 and a capacity for each of them of 20K a piece. So right there, you're saving money just going with the base game compared to this one. Same exact same exact capacity, and the horsepower requirement. The base game does require an additional 40 horsepower, but you're saving $20,000+. That right there, that's kind of a strike against the mod. But then you look at the Commander 26. That has a capacity of 26,000 liters. The closest one we have is the Samsung PG2 28 Genesis, $212,500 to purchase this one. Now, that's where it kind of takes a big leap because this one is $120,000. So it's almost half the price for the Brewery Commander as compared to the Samsung Genesis. 26,000 liters for the brewery as opposed to 27,800. So the Samsung is a little bit bigger at about 1,800 liter capacity. Horsepower requirement though, the Samsung requires 300, the mod requires only 275. So almost half the price. It's almost as much of the capacity, not quite, but also has a 25 horsepower less requirement for the Commander. So the Commander is a good deal. The Master 20 is not. So this one kind of splits the baby at 35 megabytes to install, though. Having the one trailer that's good compared to the one that's kind of, outshined by the Coeco, this is going to be a pass for me. What do you say there, Will?
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. There are only certain slurs. So, yeah, I will pass on this one. I think it's funny, though. Because the small one is 12 slots and the bigger. So,
The bigger one was what?
11.
Yeah, nice.
So it's one
uh,
slot less than the smaller one.
All right, we are almost approaching the end of the mods. So the next one is the Rudolph DK 280 RP Realistic. This is by SBSH and is 4.1 megabytes to install. $22,300 to purchase, 18,000 liter capacity. And this one is a little bit special. Now, if I understood this one correctly, this gives you the ability to kind of not auto, but to kind of manually tip. Am I understanding this mod correctly there, Will?
No. So you can either dump it manually or you can just do it like you do base game.
Gotcha. I gotcha. So it's one of those where for 5 megabytes and having the ability to kind of take control of the unit itself is kind of cool, but not something I'm going to go rushing out to go and, install for that specific reason. So me, this is going to be kind of a pass, but a soft pass.
I agree. Um, it's definitely it's a dolly trailer, so no bueno. um, it's not bad. It's only 8 slots, so it's not super high either. No slot count. It's just the I don't really use a trailer, so it'd be a pass for me.
Next one we have is the Rosselmash K12200. This is a cultivator by Hispano, 13.52 megabytes to install, $101,000 to purchase for a 12.2 meter working width and 375 horsepower requirement. So taking a look at our cultivators here, base game, we have, let's see, at 12, what was it, 12.2? 12.2. Oof. So really, it's going to be no good straight up comparable because it's kind of in between. We got the Enbach Typhon 900 RP58, $97,000 to purchase for a 9 meter working width, 260 horsepower required, or the Vaderstat NZ Extreme 1425, $128,000 to purchase, 400 horsepower and 14.3 meter working width. So right in between the 9 and the 14.3. So looking at this one again, $101,000 for 12.2 meters. So again, looking at the Vaderstat, that is a 14.3. You are missing out on 2.1 meters, but you're also spending $27,000 less for the Rasselmash as compared to the Vaderstat. Then you're looking at horsepower requirement, 375 horsepower for the Rasselmash as opposed to 400. So you're saving 25 horses, which isn't bad. And yeah, you're just missing out on a few meters of working with. So overall, this one kind of lines up relatively well in regards to the pricing scale. Now, it is a kind of better price per meterage when it comes to the NBAC because the NBAC here is 9 meter working with at 97,000. So an extra $4,000 gets you an extra, what is that, 3.2 meters for the mod here. Yeah, overall, I think this is a good one, and I think it would be better to go with this one that is modded as opposed to the NBAC, but is going to also be a little bit friendlier than the Vaderstat in regards to pricing. So overall, 14 megabytes to install. I'd install this. I think this would be a good one. What do you think there, Will?
I installed it. It was definitely one I used I believe this was 19 too. I know it was definitely in 22. I know it was when I used it at the beginning. I know I used it a lot, so it is very highly detailed, which is nice. So yeah, overall, I would install it. It's only 7 slots, so it's not gonna break the slot count.
Excellent. Next one is the Farmex DRP 300 Perfect. This is a spader made by Hispano, 9.12 megabytes to install, $42,500 to buy, 3-meter working width, and a 100 horsepower requirement. So, looking under spaders, we got right here. Only one we have is the Farmex Rapide 450 trailed. $58,000 to purchase that one, as you can see right here. 200 horsepower required and 4.5 meter working width. So this one is supposed to be kind of the more compact version of the same brand. And looking at it, 3-meter working width compared to the 4.5, 58,000 for the base game as compared to the 42,500. So about 11 grand, 11,500 savings for this one, but you're missing out on 1.5 meters. So overall, if you want a kind of more introductory version of a spader, this will be a good one to go after. But yeah, I typically don't use spaders personally, so this would be one that I would personally skip over. But if you use spaders, this would be a good one to go after. What do you think there, Will?
That's okay. Exactly what you said. I do want to add on that it is very, which is super nice. I know I say it a lot to span those mods, but it is very, very highly detailed. Spaders are not my thing. I use them once, and I will never use them again. Um, and it's only 5 slots, so it's not gonna break the slot bank. So
Now, the one thing I will say is nice about this is that because it does have a rear 3-point link, you can do that kind of pass through as it shows there in the second screenshot. You're able to have a 3-meter seater behind this or whatever other tool that you want to have behind this. Now, if you play with stones, though, I would refrain from using this with like a cedar or something like that because you're just going to end up destroying the cedar because this is going to dig up big stones. So it's going to tear up your equipment real fast.
yep.
Next one we have is the Capello Dimet 12. This is made by none other than Hispano. Corn header, 12.18 megabytes to install, $90,000 to buy, 9-meter working width. And again, taking a look at our comparables here for corn headers, we got the, we got 9-meter working with. Let's see. Well, it's going to be the Gergenhof North Star 1230 FB, $108,000 to purchase, and a working width of 9 meters. So meter to meter, it is the same, but you can save about $18,000 on the Dimet here, as opposed to the Gergenhof's, $108,000 for purchasing that. So this is nice. 13 megabytes to install. Now I will say, does this fold up?
Yes.
It does. Awesome. So yeah, this does fold up. It does travel down the road really nicely, so you don't necessarily have to worry about getting a header trailer if you don't necessarily want to. Just like the Gergenhof here, it does kind of have that kind of clamping animation to it, which is nice. Overall, yeah, I'd install this.
Well, for me, it's a pass.
Really?
Yeah. There are certain ones I haven't seen. The like the let's see if I can pronounce it. Was it the Greeneroff?
Geringhoff?
Thank you. There was a pack that just came out. I think it was like a 9, 10, 12, and 18 meter. Plus the base game 12 meter for John Deere. That's generally like what I like to use. I never really used the Capello headers. Never really did. So honestly, it would be a pass for me. If you are using it, it does look absolutely fantastic for build. And it's only 6 slots, so not bad.
Nice. And now we move on to something that I am really excited about. A few things I'm excited about. The Lizard Grain Storage and Pig Food Maker by Mr. Hector. 75.8 megabytes to install. And this, there's a reason why I'm excited about this. This means that we're getting one step closer and closer and closer to Mr. Hector's map. Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait for that map to come out.
Carpathian Countryside.
What's that?
Carpathian Countryside.
Carpathian Countryside, 100%. So this is a silo and a pig food making production point. So to kind of show off the screenshots here, because it does a very good job as to illustrate what is what. On the outside of the building, it would be on the kind of right side if you are facing the front bay doors. You have your silo input right here, a silo output. So this is where you keep your grains. And then you have your pig feed maker output on the very back side of it. Then on the inside of it, you've got a couple of alternatives for your input. You got an input alternative right in the middle of the bay. And then off to this one side, you have the silo output alternative. And then you have the input for the pig feed maker. Now, this is like a standard pig feed maker. It has all the various recipes for your maize, barley, canola, and potatoes. That's your one recipe. And then you have a sorghum, wheat, sunflower, and sugar beet. That is your other recipe. Overall silo capacity is 1.7 million liters. And the capacity for the production itself, you can create 60,000 liters per month. So overall, it's a good production as regard to its speed and how much it can produce. It's got a big capacity for the silo. It is super expensive. It is almost $500,000 for this, but extremely highly detailed. This is going to fit in perfectly, obviously, for Carpathian Countryside. This is meant to be kind of the big co-op silos and pig feed production that's available on the map. Overall, I would not personally install this for a personal gameplay for anything outside of Carpathian Countryside. That's me personally, but is going to have a lot of detail and a lot of use cases outside of Carpathian Countryside for the right player. So overall, I love that. I love that we're seeing it because that means we're one step closer to the map releasing. What do you say there, Will?
It absolutely is fantastic. A lot of detail. When I say a lot, I cannot over speculate on that. A lot of detail. I think you could use this on other maps. Yes. Carpathian Countryside. If you like doing pigs, this is for you. All the way around. 75 megabytes to download, that is high. But you get a silo plus a production, and the amount of detail that's in this is ridiculous. So I do want to say in the second screenshot, second picture, over to the right side, you have the 3 bays right there. Those bays do not have any collisions. So if you try putting like potatoes in there, they're gonna bleed through the wall.
I gotcha.
So just keep that in mind. I did reach out to Mr. Hector about that, so he hasn't said anything in return, but he saw it, but he didn't say anything. So overall, would I install this? Probably not, because I don't really do pigs. But if I had a big pig farm, I would use this. It has 27 slots. So,
which, considering all the detail and everything this can do, that's not that bad in my opinion.
Right.
All right, next we have the Lizard Multi-Purpose Sheds, also by Mr. Hector, 48.67 megabytes to install, and we get a whole bunch of stuff. We get bale shelters, consumable storage, vehicle shelter and storage, as well as a vehicle shelter and storage composition. So a bunch of different buildings that are part of this pack here. You get some bale storage, you get some consumable storage. I mean, yeah, you get quite a bit of stuff here. And this is kind of the main buildings that are outside and around that first silo that we just reviewed. Overall, again, copy and paste everything I said from the previous one. I wouldn't necessarily install this for a map outside of Carpathian Countryside, but I'm excited because this means Carpathian Countryside is right around the corner.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like this would fit a European map very, very well. Um, I definitely want to say they look fantastic. The nice thing about the bells is that there's actually you can walk through like and you can deactivate the bale storage or reactivate it. So you can either use it as a deactivate it and use it as a storage vehicle. Um,
Word of warning though, I don't know if it's the same as it was in FS22. So I'm going to give this kind of as a warning, but I'm not sure if it's the same. If you are going to activate and deactivate the bale storage, take everything out. If you activate and deactivate it with stuff in it, it deletes it. That's how it was in
it does not.
22. It doesn't do that. So it keeps everything in there.
Correct.
Oh, perfect. Then okay, I redact everything I just said.
So, no, there isn't really a good way of going over this. So, like the main picture where you can see the four sheds. So all the one down the bottom, far right hand corner, the one that's a complete drive through. That one's 6 slots. The one above that one is 10 slots. Then the slightly bigger one is 10 slots. Multi building. So not awful in the slot count either. And I know that uh and the biggest bale storage can hold 2,000 bales and pallets.
Awesome. And yet again, Mr. Hector makes an appearance here with the Lizard Vehicle Shelters, 23.88 megabytes to install, and we get several enclosed or open vehicle shelters. This one, again, copy and paste everything I said about the previous ones.
Yep, just like me as well. Copy and paste. It's you can use like they would look fantastic on the European. I personally wouldn't install them because to me they belong on his map. But if you want to use them, feel free. They're there. Now going from the picture, you have so in the bottom shed right there is, and then the next two are 8. So not bad.
Next one we have is the Small Farm Dairy. This is by Weekend Farmers. Is that taxes? Taxes. 1.62 megabytes to install, and we have a price point of $18,000. And we can make butter cheese crates, goat cheese box, and buffalo mozzarella. I mean, overall, it's a cheap introductory production point for your dairy products. That's nice. I like it. And yeah, I would absolutely install this for 2 megabytes. Sign me up.
Um, I do agree. Not if I was starting off from yet. Um, just like to have it there because it's small enough, it's cheap enough, and it basically runs like your base game, but shelter. Either leave it in the wide open or stick it in a shelter. um, so overall, very highly detailed. Um, and it's only 8 slots, which is not bad. So
Not bad, not bad at all. Catching up with the chat room here real quick. We got Munchies Plays. Munchies, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says howdy y'all and what up BDD and Will. What up Munchies? Samuel, how's it going Samuel? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. We are, let's see, moving on to our next one here. Let me go back to this real quick. Oops, I'm popping things out everywhere, left and right. There we go. Next one we have is the Lizard Liquid Manure Tank, again by Mr. Hector, 9.98 megabytes to install, capacity of 1.3 million liters for the liquid manure tank at $80,000. We also had the extension here, $75,000 for another 1.3 million liters. It's a slurry silo. That's what it boils down to. I like it. Belongs on Mr. Hector's map in my opinion, but I could definitely see the appeal to this. I like that. Now, what I'm desperately wanting to know is the animation of the slurry getting slung into the pit like it is in slide number 4. The is that the actual animation, or is that just kind of built into this particular screenshot? I desperately want to know that, because if that's the case where it actually you unload into it and it slings it into the silo, man, would that be awesome.
That is what happens.
Oh.
I actually this place down map, and I wanted to test it out, so I bought some slurry just to try it out. So I ended up putting some slurry in there, and yeah. And then when you take it out, it actually shows it pouring out of the pipe, which I think is absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of silos that don't do that for even like animal pens. Like it doesn't show that. I love this. I installed it, as you heard. I believe that this can fit on any map, even an American map, because down the road from where I grew up, they actually have a couple slurry lagoons, like a couple slurry tanks. So it's only 10 slots for that, which to me is amazing. And yes, it does have a fill plane.
Love it. Yeah, and I said how I feel like this belongs on Mr. Hector's map. I think I'm going to reverse on that. I think that this has a nice kind of generic feel enough, like you were saying, that it would fit on a lot of other maps and isn't necessarily tied to just this map. Unlike a lot of the other barns and buildings that we were seeing before, those kind of had a kind of very specific theme and style to them. This one here, I think, is definitely kind of breaks that mold. I like that. All right, and the last mod that we have for the 29th of July is the wind generators made with barrels. This is by Nikki, 7.98 megabytes to install, and we have the tiny wind generator for 2,500, the small wind generator for 5,000, and the wind generator for 8,000. And like it said, these are generators. They sit there and spin around and produce a little bit of daily income. It's nice. I liked these back when they were out for FS22. I like them again for 25. What do you think there, Will?
They're very unique. I'll put it that way. They're different than your typical like turbine. And I do like it. It's very unique, like I said. And they're not bad. The tiny one, 3 slots, and then the other each. So they're not awfully bad on the slot count. Like I said, it's very unique, especially the way that they turn. It's also very unique as well. There's one thing I do want to say though, real quick. So that was it for the new mods. But as for updates, there was an update, but it was and that was for the liquid manure tank by RLSF. It is console ready, which is 3.62 megabytes to download. It costs $80,000. I mean, it's a slurry. It's a slurry tank. It's made out of concrete. I don't know if this one. I did not grab this one. So that one's 6 slots. But I just wanted to point that out because that was so definitely new to console. So
Excellent. Cavalier Roy, how's it going, Roy? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And yeah, like I said, what's your favorite for the 29th.
That is a tough one. I had a lot of favorites.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tough one. See, I knew this question was coming up for this, and I was. I would probably have to say the lizard liquid manure tank from Mr. Hector.
You and I align once again there, sir. I 100% agree with you. All right. Do you want to get into some news?
Yes, we did. We didn't have a whole lot of, and there was some okay news. I mean, nothing that really, like, I guess, knocked my socks off. I guess. If makes any sense here. Let's see. So the first one we start out with here. See, I shared this because I thought that would get a great kick out of this one. So we got some more pictures from Oxygen David from his Whitcomb Park Farm 25.
Wow.
This map looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. To say the absolute least, this looks amazing.
This is coming for all platforms. Just to let everyone know. So he's originally, I know he stated that he was going to make platform. Now PC players are going to get this first to test it out, and then report any bugs, anything like that, and then report it back to him so in that way he can go faster through Giants, which I know a lot of map makers are doing. I did reach out to Oxy because I was very.
Oh, Will, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up again. Something fierce there, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what is going on.
Well, after the show, I have an idea, but I don't know if it's gonna work on the fly like this. So after the show, we'll discuss it.
All right. Yeah, but it was gonna be like well over 900 megabytes for this map, so just be aware of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, just looking at the detail of these screenshots, yeah, you can tell it's going to be extremely large map and is going to be worth every megabyte to install it. Look, I mean, wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, now we'll see here. So you go. So the next one on my list here, which was from J, basically bringing a new brand into farm system. Now, can everyone hear me? Okay.
No, you're breaking up again. Like it's just cutting in and out at this point.
I don't know, man. Um,
Like I
like
said,
how badly.
it's bad. Like it's every couple of words you get out and it just cuts out, and yeah, it's bad. Like I said, I've got an idea for next week's show, but we'll have to discuss it on the back end.
Well, if I'm cutting in and out that much,
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah. See, Samuel's saying, yeah, crazy Mike out and in. Yep, yeah, I agree. It might be one of those that might be worth skipping the news this go around, and we just pick it up fresh next week. What do you say?
Cool.
Oh, what was that?
Cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, y'all, a little bit of technical difficulties on our end, but like I said, I'm gonna work on. We are gonna work on getting a result for next week, because I got an idea. I think I know what's going on, but yeah, it's we had a very, very short week this week. 2 days. That's all we had, and we got some good stuff though. I think there was a couple of things here and there that is definitely worth the look see and the install. But real quick, Roy says, "I'm good, thanks, bud. Some interesting mods, 100%, 100%." Samuel says, "I wish the mic was okay." I do too. But I think this is going to be a good time to go ahead and call it for the night, and we will see you all next week. Will, thank you once again for coming by and co-hosting the show with me here. I have a lot of fun with this as always, and yeah, let's go ahead and do our sign-offs. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please show us by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. The shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.
Yo, hit the dirt and fire it up. It's that hard cause grind. BDD and WillT dropping knowledge every time. From the mods to the maps, from the brands to the tools. If it's FS talk, they breaking all the rules. We talk giants, we talk gears, we talk that horsepower. Late night mod drops, we got that creative power. From interviews with legends to spotlighting the new, we bring that FS fire straight from the crew to two. Living life behind the wheel with a digital twist. Ain't no button we don't press, no trend we ever miss. Updates, leaks, and future plans. We got the inside scoop, no chance for scams. This is AgriBusiness, cranking up your farm life. From the field to the feedlot, under LEDs and skylights. Mods, maps, machines, they cover it all. Gorgeous kings of the farming game, standing tall. It's more than a game, it's a way of thinking. Talking shop while that diesel's drinking. From tractors to combines, dirt roads to drones.